Hi, Sivathmika, how are you?
Hi Vashi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for taking out the time. I know hectic days, busy days, but just maybe starting with a quick introduction about yourself, if you could let us know your audience, about yourself, your academics, your experience, because you do come from a very different background from what we normally see in applicants. So, yeah, I'll leave that to you to reveal to our audience.
Okay. So I come from a business administration background. That's what I've done in my college from Symbiosis Pune. And my specialization was in finance and accounting and international business. And I worked for PwC for almost 2 years and as a risk analyst, um, into which I want to continue my career in. And yeah, it's I worked with international clients, I worked with Indian clients, I worked with some top businesses in tech, in media, also in real estate in Hyderabad. Some of them are like Satwa. And later on, I pursued my passion, which is I'm about to finish my master's degree in performing arts, which is in Kuchipudi, which is an Indian classical art form of India. And I've also done my diploma in Carnatic music, which is Indian classical music. And yeah, currently the thesis is ongoing. So I come from a completely diverse background of arts and also consulting, which is very new for a lot of people to hear. And on top of all of these things, I also volunteer in one of the trusts in Hyderabad itself. I've been with them for a year now. I teach little kids basic math, basic English, and also I conduct events there. I've performed internationally over 5 to 6 countries. I've been in the field for the last 15 years since I was a kid. And I'll be going for my master's in management at National University of Singapore for the Jan 2027 intake. So yeah, that is my background so far.
Great. Very different, somebody from a business and an administration background, and with the creative aspect you have. So obviously, this is over a span of lot of years. Okay, so there is
Yes,
normally you look at MIM aspirants who are quite young in their trajectory. So was
correct.
that an apprehension which was also in your mind when you decided to actually get on this journey with, a master's, a thesis in progress, you frequently traveling to the US and back to complete your thesis? How was that, and what were the thought process behind it?
So initially, when I was in my corporate job and I was into the risk field, my plan was to continue in the risk field itself. But I never wanted to stay in India itself because I really love meeting other people and networking internationally too, which I've got it from my dance background, and that's what I've been trying to choose. And with LilacBuds, that's what they have consulted me, saying that because my work experience is just a little below 2 years, and I think choosing a MIM would be a much better goal than going for an MBA after 5 years, because I really wanted to move to a different country. Also, not just far away from home, which is in India, because my whole life and programs or whatever events that I perform are mostly based in India. I do want to keep coming back. So that's the reason I chose Singapore, and they were really okay with it. They were good to go. Coming to the USA thesis front and go part of it, yeah, that's been going on for the last 6, 7 months now. So I have been traveling to the US, finishing up my thesis there. Some of the research is extensively in India and the rural areas. So that has been going on, but it's been quite easy to manage with Lilac Buds on my side.
Perfect. So when you talked about MIM, so what exam did you take? GMAT, GRE? What was your score, if you could share with our audience?
So I did take a GMAT exam, but for NUS, GMAT was not required. So it was an optional exam, and because I already had a lot of other things going on, I didn't need to give the GMAT score anywhere else. So I hope it's fine if I don't reveal the score.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's
That's
your
fine.
prerogative, and we didn't share it with the university also. So
Yeah,
that was something, so not
yeah.
a problem at all.
NUS was quite open with this also, because my background is extremely diverse. So Usually it's recommended they give a GMAT score. People give a GMAT score, but because I'm already doing a master's degree, I'm already finishing up a lot of other things on the hand. It was, I think, that played a major role for me to like not give a GMAT exam and still get into a great college. So yeah, I did give a GMAT exam, thinking, planning that, oh, maybe I'll be applying to colleges later on in the future, not so early on. But then I took up the decision of going for a master's degree as soon as possible because I think I was quite ready to move to a different country and explore that.
Okay.
Yep.
So how did you navigate, working with LilacBuds? How was this, about navigating your whole profile? You were not somebody who comes from a tradition. Yes, there was a certain aspect of traditionality to your profile from the
Yeah.
accounting background and, then working in the corporate. But there was an additional aspect to it as well, to your profile, something which is really different, which we don't see in a lot of master's applicants. So how was that handled by your mentor? If you could share that with us, and how was your experience doing that?
Yes. So, if I could mention, my mentor was Karan, and he's one of the co-founders of LilacBuds, and I think, and I've had some great experience working with him. I think he's godsend because of all the timelines and deadlines. So I joined with LilacBuds in Jan, which was pretty close. I think very, very close to my NUS deadline or any other college deadline that I wanted to apply because I already round two was ongoing. And in the month of Jan, when I joined, I think the first time when I spoke to you about this was in October. And then
True.
later on, I had reached out to you in Jan saying that, oh, I do need a help of consultant. Because during the October to December time, I was navigating my thesis. I was really confused. Do I really need to give a GMAT exam again? There was a lot of tension going on. So I had taken some time out to focus on myself during that time. But then I reached out in Jan, realizing that I do need some help with the essays part of it, or somebody who could put me on a track to think, what do I really need? Do I really need to choose an MIM or MSc in finance, or do I wait for an MBA? So I think in the beginning, Karan was really good with the me trying to focus on MIM. So yeah, he had given me like a whole list of things for me to write about my own work experience at PwC, also about my personal experiences, extracurricular experiences. He had jotted asked me to jot down every single thing, different experiences, different projects, different people I have met, kind of networking that I've done. I think it was really good for me to put all of that down because I've never done that on a paper or like in an Excel sheet, writing every detail down. That part was extremely useful for me to like write the essays or write the SOPs or even curate my own CV. What kind of achievements do I put in the CV, not put in the CV? And also coming to the resume part of it, usually I have also taken a few other trial calls with other consultancies, and they were really not that encouraging about me putting a master's degree in performing arts. Here it was completely different because I wanted it to be in the profile because I worked
True.
really hard to get it. And Karan was really good, and he was like, no, you have to put it on the top, saying that put a master's in performing arts, put everything that you're maintaining a 4.0 GPA, and you've done all of these things, put your research papers in. He was extremely good at guiding me in that part. And also coming to finalizing my colleges, I really didn't wanted to go to Europe. I did visit there, but I was not into it. My focus was mostly on, oh, let me just focus on India and maybe Asian school, something very nearby to India, or maybe into a country that I already experienced in. And he was really good at that too, like helping me out finalize my colleges. And he kept on saying that, oh, these are the colleges that look great for you, these are the ones that would give you a future internship, you will get like a job security. This is where you can meet like a lot of international students. I think he himself has a master's degree abroad. I think that helped too. And he, like me, worked at PwC too, so it was very nice to get that interaction. And he was also into the same field that I was in. So there were a lot of on and off front end goals that were going on. There was a lot of advice from his side to put it in this way, try to focus more on this part, jot down your strengths, weaknesses, uh, every single thing. So I think the whole thing was a complete process. There were also times where I started panicking, saying that, oh, the deadlines are soon, the deadlines are gonna come. I didn't know the deadline was so nearby. How do I do the essays? How do I do the CV? How do I edit it? There was a lot of panic going on too, but he was really great. I think he handled me really well. He calmed me down, saying that, oh, it's going to be fine. We'll do it. I think there was a lot of last minute front and go also going on with him. But yeah, I think that it's a process. I think everybody has like a different experience with it, and as said before, definitely a godsend with all the thesis going on beside all the volunteering work that I've been doing, the programs, events I've been attending. I think this was something that I really needed. Somebody to help me out to process and also put it out there in proper words. Yeah.
Perfect. So I think Karan, well, I really appreciate you, explaining it in so much detail. Because yes, a lot of applicants go through this panic last moment, deadlines coming, approaching, back and forth. But yeah, you rightly mentioned it's a process. Everybody has their own
Yes.
experience. And in the end, the only point being is getting the right results, which in your case was
Right.
definitely true. You're attending NUS this January, like you mentioned. So all's well that
Yes.
ends well. So how is, obviously for every application, you submitted the application, essays went in, everything. Then it obviously comes down to interviews. Singapore is
Yeah.
generally a little slower when it comes to sending out calls, coming down. So how was your experience, the waiting part and getting the interview call and then prepping for that as well? So how was that experience?
So I had applied in the month of, I think by the end of Jan, or I think in the first week of Feb, just before the deadline ended. I had applied to it. Initially, there was also me saying that should I wait till round three, and Karan was like, no, let's push it and finish it off. You have the CV ready, you have everything ready. We'll just apply. So I had applied it, and by God's grace, I think within 3 weeks, I got an interview call. And I think in the month of March, I got the interview call, and I was very excited because I was not expecting. I was like, okay, let me just take a gap year and push it to a next year something. And Karan was like, let's wait. I think you'll get the interview. I think your profile was great. You'll get NUS interview. So as he was right about it, that was short on. So I got the interview, and I was very excited. I sent out a message in the group, and we had an follow-up call. I had a follow-up call with Karan I think within 2, 3 days. And because I was also in panic, I had a gap of 3 weeks before my interview. And I was still panicking, thinking that, oh, the interview. And it's been quite some time since I've given a college interview. It's pretty different than a job interviews or any
True.
other random interview that I give. So he took a follow-up call. He explained me how the process is going to be, that there are going to be one or sometimes two panelists. And yes, I had two panelists, one of them who is a dean of the college. And yeah, he had given me like a whole list of different questions, sample questions. How do I frame different kind of questions? And there was also this LilacBuds practice interview portal that's been
True.
there. So that's also been really great for me to like re-practice again and again within like 1 minute or like 22 minutes. How do I put it out? And I also had some sample interviews with Karan itself, and he'd given some great inputs. He does I think, very similar questions that the panel asked about my master's in dance, which I had not prepared for during the sample interviews. And Karan was short on about it, and he had asked, and he helped me frame the answer too. I think it was great. I think all the prep before the interview also helped me calm down, reduce my panic, because I was practicing a lot. I was in that flow, and I was not anxious at all on the call. Yes, I was a bit anxious on the sample interview, but I think it went on really well. And the panelists also looked quite, um, I think they looked quite happy with my answers. and with the way I was answering every question, putting it down, and all of that structure, I give it to Karan. Obviously, I've done so many things, but I've never had anything going on structured or nothing being organized for me. So I think
True.
I'll give that to my mentor.
Perfect. How was, that feeling or that time when, you got the final acceptance from NUS? Can you just, I know it might be a little difficult to describe, but, how was it? Got to know, oh, I have finally been accepted to the school I applied to, something where
Yeah.
I was dreaming of going. How was that?
Yeah. So, as said before, initially I was planning to take another break because I was not expecting any. I only applied to two colleges, and one of them was still ongoing. The process was still ongoing, and I was not expecting anything out of both of them, even after I've given a great interview. I was like, maybe I'm going to take a break. I'm going to work on my own venture. I'm going to do whatever it is, just take a break and then to it, get back to it later on. But then I did get a mail after 2 weeks of the interview call, and I opened it while I was half asleep, and I opened it and it was great. I was like, oh, there's an interview. Oh, I think something. I got some answer reply from the NUS college. Let me see it. And I opened it. It was like, oh, congratulations. I was jumped in joy, obviously. And then I jumped out of the bed. I went to my mom. My mom she was at home, and then I told her that I got into NUS, the program that I applied for, and she was quite happy because it's a great college. They were also expecting me to get into that college, so I get that whole abroad experience too. They really wanted me to get into NUS. And yes, I did inform my dad too. He was at office. He was also jumping in joy. It was a great feeling that oh, finally after a whole like 6 7 months of crushing myself under the pressure of oh will I get in? Will I not get in? How do I work on all of these things? I informed in the group, and I think Karan was also really happy. And yeah, I think I I'm quite proud of that particular achievement. I'm just trying to wage my way into the next things that will be coming up.
True, very true. We're all happy, and actually we were all delighted for you as well when we got to know you put it in the group. You got into NUS, and I was like, finally, this is good news coming. So this is
Yes.
definitely good. So thanks for all that, Sivathmika. Now coming down to if I talk about your whole experience looking now, once you have an admit in hand, for the whole application cycle, anything which you feel, this was something maybe if I knew before I got into this journey, I could have done something better. Basically advice for any applicant who is thinking of, taking on this journey for studying abroad, what things they should think of or pre-plan based on your experience.
I think if you're applying to colleges who don't require GMAT, then so much of structured planning is as such not required except for finalizing your colleges and having at least like 10, 15 of them, going through all the details, everything, making. I made an Excel sheet for myself, saying that, oh, this is going to be my first priority. These are the priority colleges that I am going to choose. This is the tuition fee. This is my budget. Is it coming in or not? Uh, what are my goals and aspirations? I think all of those things, if you're planning to go abroad or if you're planning to study a master's degree, structuring all of that would really help. But if you're applying to colleges which require a test like GMAT or GRE, I think planning that at least 6 months beforehand would be really great. At least like giving the exam 3 months beforehand would be great, which I did not really plan, and I was struggling with it a lot. Thank God that NUS did not consider the GMAT score. But yeah, anybody who's giving the exam, I'd say give it 3 months before your college deadlines, and also choose the exam that is right for you. For some people, I think GMAT would be much easier because of the analytical or critical part of it. For some people who are, I think, good at a bit of math, good at English, for them GRE would be good. There are also exams for other colleges, like I think for INSEAD, I think they have their own exam also. You can choose that if you're planning for INSEAD. I think there's one exam, something as such. Choosing the right exam would also be great. I think that's one mistake that I've done. If I'm given a chance to go back, I would have pre-planned it really well and done really well. Also, choosing the consultant, I would have uh, taken this particular service up at October itself rather than postponing it till Jan, because I know how much panicked I was due to the last minute deadlines that I was in. So I think even you just need to plan your things on beforehand. It can be very haphazard even at the ending, even if you're really organized or structured. But yeah, I think a little bit of pre-planning about your goals, aspirations, what you want to do would be good. And it would be great if you're doing it with your own consultant, like I did. I was sitting with my own counselor and thinking, oh, this is my goals, this is what I want to do later on. I think he's one of the major role he had played me in thinking. He made me think that, oh, I think I need to continue in risk. It's a great field that I've started out in, and I can further my career. It's a good thing. It's an alternative for whatever I was thinking too.
True.
So yeah, I think do all of that before you're applying to the colleges. It will be great for your essays too, to put all of that in. Yeah,
True. Having that clarity of thought definitely makes it easier.
exactly.
And there are a lot of applicants who already have that, but some, like somebody like you who did not have that clarity, okay, what I need to do. So
Yes.
then, yes, your consultant can definitely help you out. The kind of thing
Yep.
which you got from Karan working with, okay, what would be the right way, what schools to
Yes.
choose, and what should be your
Right.
post MIM career goals also. So I think, yeah,
Yeah.
you summed it up very beautifully in respect of planning it in the right way and keeping timelines. I think that's what's to
Exactly.
avoid any last minute
Exactly.
panic.
Right,
So
right.
definitely. But yeah, again, like I said earlier, all's well that, ends well, and you'll be joining NUS this January.
Yes.
Very happy to, been working with you for your applications, being a small part of your journey. Everybody at LilacBuds wishes you all the best. And thank you so much for taking out this time, to share with our viewers about your experience. And hopefully, somebody can definitely benefit from this conversation to plan out their journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashi. Thank you